So Christian, has anyone ever explained to you the way that life insurance works and the way that we kind of rate it?
A little bit.
A little bit. All right. Well, I'd be happy to kind of demonstrate for you, kind of explain the ins and outs of it, give you shed a little light on that. So the way life insurance works, there's three types, and we rate it on three factors. So those three factors that we rate insurance on, life insurance specifically, are age, health, and gender. So age, the younger you are when you get a policy started, the better your rate is going to end up being. Health, again, the healthier you are when you get that policy started, your premiums are going to look a lot better. And then gender, with all things being equal, men versus women, men tend to be more expensive than women just because men tend to do stupid things. So that's the way that we kind of rate life insurance. That's how we determine what your prices are going to be. So then there are three types of life insurance as well. The first type of life insurance is called term life insurance. And the way that term life insurance works is it's just like renting an apartment. So when you rent an apartment, you sign your lease, you pay your money every month, and you have that place to live. It's cheaper than buying a house. If anything were to break, you're not on the hook for it. You can just call your property manager, your landlord, whoever. They send someone to fix it for you. There's no out-of-pocket cost. It's a great place to live, and it's affordable. However, there are some downsides to renting an apartment. You don't own that place. So any money that you're putting into it doesn't actually do anything for you other than providing you with that place to live. You can't sell it. When your lease comes up, you have two options. You can either sign a new lease or move out, find another place to live. And if you do sign that new lease, it's going to be more expensive due to cost of living, inflation, new management, what have you. We've all been there. But it is convenient. You have a place to live and it's affordable. So term insurance works exactly the same way. We sign a lease for 10, 20, 30 years, pay our money every month, and we have insurance. It's cheaper than some of our other options, and there are no additional costs. However, at the end of your lease, because you're renting that term insurance, you either have to move out or sign a new lease. And if you do sign a new lease, it is going to be more expensive because you are now 10, 20, 30 years older, and most likely your health has changed. So that's the first type of life insurance that we have. The second type of life insurance is called whole life or permanent life insurance. The way that that works, the whole life or permanent, is it's kind of like buying a house. So when you buy a house, you sign your contract, pay the money every month, and you own that house. It belongs to you. It builds equity. It builds equity. You can borrow against it, and you can actually list it as an asset. However, it is going to be a lot more expensive than renting an apartment or renting term insurance. There's additional costs. If something were to break, you are now on the hook to fix it. You either do it yourself or you pay someone to fix it for you. There's also additional costs such as property tax and home insurance. There's other things to be aware of with that. But again, the house belongs to you. Nobody's going to take it away. So whole life insurance works exactly the same way. You sign a contract, pay your money every month, and you have that insurance. Nobody's going to take it away. It builds cash value. You can list it as an asset, and you can actually borrow against it. However, it is going to be more expensive than renting term insurance. So to give you an example here, just to make up some numbers, kind of show you the difference between these two policies. Let's say you have a $300,000 life insurance policy. So $300,000 up here. For that $300,000, for a term policy, you're going to pay about $25 a month. And again, these are made up. $25 a month for that $300,000. For a whole life or permanent policy, it's going to be $200 a month. So $25 for term, $200 for whole life. So I know what you're thinking here. You're really liking the price of that $25 a month, but you really like the benefits of that whole life or that permanent policy. So that's what brings us to our third and final life insurance policy, which is called universal life insurance. So the way that universal life works is you take a number that falls somewhere in between that 25 and 200. So let's use, for example's sake, $100. You pay your $100. $25 of that is going to pay for 1 month's worth of term insurance, and the other $75 is going to be invested on your behalf. Another month goes by, you pay your $100, $25 is used for that month's term insurance, and $75 is invested on for your benefit. Now, as you get older, that term insurance is going to get more expensive. So, say 20 years from now, that term insurance costs $50 a month. So, you still pay your $100, 50 of it now pays for that month's term, and 50 is now invested on your behalf. Let's take it another 20 years down the line. Now, that term insurance is going to cost $125. So, you still pay your $100, all of it gets applied to that month's term insurance, but now we're $25 short. That's okay though, because for the last 40 years, we have been saving up this big old pile of money. And so what the life company does is takes that additional 25 that's needed out of that pile and applies it to that month's term insurance. So what we're doing there is we are overpaying when we're young so that we can underpay when we're old. So we overpay when we're young, underpay when we're old. The really cool thing about this one is it's a term policy built on permanent principles. So now out of these three, which one sounds best to you?
Awesome.